Okay, I would definitely consider this the hard section of this review, but let's get started. So the high tide, the water level at a particular boat dock is 9 feet deep. You can see I've written 9 here. Low tide is 3 feet deep, so that's my 3 right there, just worked ahead. Low tide occurs at 3 a.m., so again I'm starting with this as 12 a.m., and this would be my 12 p.m. just to help keep track of this graph. And 3 a.m. would be here, so 3 is my low dot. And then at 9 a.m. is my high dot, so that would be right here. And you can see as it's trying to build you a sinusoid, you got to do a little math. From 3 to 9 is 6. So on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be right here. So another 3 p.m. this time. And now we've got a general drawing, which really helps us. I'm going to stick with cosine. They're asking us to find the equation now on letter A. So I'm going to build off y equals cosine. Well, if I draw the midline in here, I know that that's 6 because that's halfway between 3 and 9, which means this has been lifted up 6. So I know it's going to be a plus 6 somewhere. I also know it's been shifted to the right a total of 9 hours. So at 9 a.m. is when it reaches the high point. So that'd be x minus 9. And now I got to find my b and put it in there, and I have to find my a and put it right there, my amplitude. Amplitude's pretty easy, because if this is 6 and that's 9, my amplitude is 3. So y equals 3 cosine. Now, from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. is 12 hours. So that's my period. So I stick it in the period formula. Period equals 2 pi all over the absolute value of b. Multiply both sides by b, and I get 12b equals 2 pi. Divide by 12, reduce, and I get pi over 6. Now I'm going to go ahead and convert that to a decimal right now. And so second pi divided by 6, 0.5 to, we'll call it 35. And maybe we'll just round that to 0.524, just for simplicity. So I'm going to pull this all together and put my b right there, 0.524, x minus 9 plus 6. And that should be our go-to sinusoid to figure out any other questions. And here's the next question. What is the water level at 2 p.m.? So at 2 p.m., we notice from 12 a.m. it starts, 12 p.m., that's 12 hours. 2 more hours would be 2 p.m., so that's a total of 14 hours we're going to put right here. So I'm going to go ahead and show my work right here. Y equals 3 cosine 0.524, 14 minus 9 plus 6. And let's whittle this thing down. I'll be right back. I'll do some math. All right, show you my work here. So I typed in 14, or just put 14 in for x, because that's the time. 14 minus 9 is 5. 5 times this is this. Cosine of 2.62. Remember, I had to be in radian mode, because it's not in degree mode at all, so this is radian mode. So cosine of this times 3 plus 6 is 3.4. So that's the approximate height, after 14 hours. And if you look at the drawing, looks like it could be pretty close to accurate, a little above 3. So let's stop right there. All right, next question. When, in other words, find t or x, is the first time the tide will be at a height of 4 feet 8 inches. Now what I did is I converted this to 4 feet and 8 twelfths, which that's just 2/3, which is 0.67. So it's 4.67, just feet. And so that's why I put it right here, and I transferred it right here for the height. And now we need to find that value right there. So let me do some work and I'll be right back. All right, so again, I put 4.67 in for the height. and I distributed this through. As you can see, I did my work there, and I also subtracted 6 from both sides, giving me this. Now I'm going to divide this all by 3 to get rid of that, divide that by 3. So I'm going to get negative 1.33 divided by 3, negative 0.443, negative 0.443 equals cosine. Now here comes the trick. I'm just going to put a theta there instead of writing this, and we'll get back to that. I just did a little substitution. We're going to find this and then set this equal to this to find x. So I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to go second cosine negative 0.433, and I get 2.02, we'll call it. So theta is 2.02 radians, and so that's what this equals, because that's what we replaced it with. So 2.02 is equal to 0.524x minus 4.716. So I'm going to add 4.716, 4.716, and so I get 6.736 equals 0.524x. Grand finale, divide by 0.524. Divide by 0.524. I don't like what this is looking like. I don't like it. 6.736 divided by 0.524. 12.85. It doesn't even ever get that high. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I might have misinterpreted information there because I'm in a dang hurry. So we just found x, and x is the time. So that's where I just got a little off track there. It's not the height, it's the time. We already plugged in the height, and now we're finding the time. And so, so x is 12.85 hours, and so if we think about that, the question says, boy, this is crazy, you guys. When's the first time the tide will be 4 feet 8 inches? So after 12 hours, so we can see after 12 hours, 12.85 hours is right in here somewhere. It reaches a height of 4.67, which kind of looks accurate, but that's not the first time. What we need to do is some quick thinking here, and I'm going to do some writing, and then I'll be back to you in a second. Okay, so we realized 12.85 hours, it reaches that height, but they're asking what's the first time. So I look at this drawing right here, and I see that a little after 12, a lot after 12, just before 1 is 12.85 hours. That's when it hits that height the first time, which is 3.85 hours after 9. So that's this way. That's definitely not the first time. So if we went back 3.85 hours, and we did our calculator so I don't make a mistake. I don't want to make a mistake here. 9 minus 3.85. I get 5, right at this point would be 5.15. And now that might be the first time, but it might not be. We got to figure out if it happens over here. So we can see that this starts coming up. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, let me pause, get some thoughts together, and I'll be right back. Okay, I hope I can explain this. This is the last of the doozies. So here's the general thought. It takes this sinusoid, 12 hours to go through a complete cycle. So from this 9 o'clock a.m., I went back to 9 o'clock p.m., because that would be 9 p.m. It would also repeat that height of 9. And so I would need to go 3.85 to the right of that again to find that height of 4.85. So I'd have to go 9 p.m. minus 3.85. So let's try that. And I get 5.15. So that would put us 3 hours this way, and then 2.15 more this way, so that'd be 2.15 hours this way. So if I converted that, 2.15 hours, I know that'd be 2 hours, and then 0.15 times 60 to figure out minutes. So let's go 60 times 0.15 and 9 minutes. So that's approximately when it would hit that. One more time. That is a doozy. All right, now we're going to get into more of the typical things. Find the exact value. So we got to spin the spinner 4 times 60, which is 240 degrees, and then figure out cotangent. Now don't forget, tangent is opposite over adjacent, so they're going to want the reciprocal adjacent over opposite. Spin it 240, there's 180 plus 60. And they don't give us sides, so we have the freedom to call it whatever we want. That's 60, that's 30, so this is -1, negative square root of 3, 2. What's the adjacent side? That'd be -1. What's the opposite side? That'd be negative square root of 3. 2 negatives make a positive. Get that square root out of there. Square root of 3 over 3. There's that one. Tangent of -90. Well, if we spin our spinner down 90, I'm telling you guys, stop. Stop just shy of it. Let your brain look at this. My adjacent side is the one that disappears. My opposite is -1 because it's going down, and my spinner is 1. What is tangent? It's opposite over adjacent. Opposite is -1. The adjacent is 0. That is undefined. You can check that with your calculator if you wanted to. Cosine of -210. There's -180 and 30. There's a 1, there's a 2, there's a square root of 3, but it's negative. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Done. Now the numbers are going to get bigger. Don't panic. This is 11 times 30, which is 330. Spin it just 30 degrees shy. So that's -1. This is my 60, so it's my square root of 3. That's 2. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So we got to flip that. The hypotenuse is 2. The opposite is -1. So that'd be -2. Keep going. Spin the spinner down 30. So if this is 30, finish your triangle. 90, that's -1, 2, square root of 3. Now what's secant the reciprocal of? Cosine. What's cosine? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So we need the hypotenuse over the adjacent. That's a h. Hypotenuse is 2. Adjacent side square root of 3. Get that out of there. And we get 2 square root of 3 over 3. That'd be our final answer. And the last one from this section, pi over 3 is 60, so 5 times 60 is 300, so it's -300. Spin the spinner, there's 270 plus another 30. So if this is 30, this is 60, which is important, because that's my square root of 3. That's my 1. This is my 2. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Square root of 3 over 2. All right, reducing. So this is a good time to have your formulas right next to you. Remember, don't mess with this. Relax on that. If we look at the numerator to begin, just forget about tangent. Cosine of x, don't change it. What's the reciprocal? What is secant? Well, it's the same thing as 1 over cosine. And if we just cross-reduce, we know this is now 1 over tangent of x, which is another way of saying what's the reciprocal of tangent. And if you looked at your formula sheet, you would say, oh, that's cotangent, or just use a little common sense. Okay, this one, this is coming from the classic sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. Because if we subtract sine squared from both sides. We know now that this is true, which means we can replace this with cosine squared, so we get cosine squared theta over sine squared theta. If we checked out our formula sheet, that'd be cotangent squared theta. Dunzos. Okay, last one on this page. So try to change it, change it, change it. So what is tangent? Tangent is sine of x all over cosine of x. What is cosecant? That's 1 over sine of x. What is secant? That's 1 over cosine of x. So if you think about it, you can cross-reduce these bad boys, and then swoosh, 1 times 1 is 1, cosine times cosine is cosine squared. And if we look at that, that would just, what's the reciprocal of cosine? Well, that'd be secant, so that'd be secant squared x, and there it is. So those are not too bad.